Yo, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to make a support tier list in the perspective of a Koga main. So I separated the healers just to make it easier to see. And I've done this video a couple of times, but it's been kind of long, so I wanted to keep trying to make this video quite a bit shorter. So let's just get right into it. So uh, Furia is definitely the worst healer for Koga. It's because of the amount of healing that she does. She has a very low amount of healing, and Koga needs a lot of healing. Even if you were to go like Solar Blessings, like trying to put resources into your tank, Koga's pretty much going to eat up every single alternate fire heal. And it's just still not a lot of healing. Her ult is okay. So maybe you could have like an off healer with Furia, like maybe like a Skye or like a Ray. But to be honest, it wouldn't really make her much better. Next, I'm gonna put Grover. Grover's okay. He can output like a lot of healing. His ult is good. He has like a root. The issue with Grover is that he wants to play really kind of a rhythmic, cooldown kind of playstyle, whereas Koga wants to play more of like a reactionary. And if Grover heals Koga right after dash, or like right at right after dash, like reacting out of dash, he's gonna be messing up the heals for his entire team. I'm putting Grover a little bit higher than Furia just because of his AoE, where like Koga can kind of like go into the AoE and get like a the get the passive and heal out of like around corners and stuff like that. But it doesn't really do anything. It just makes Koga like uh, get back into the fight just a tiny bit faster. Um, I'm gonna put Ray in the same tier. The issue with Ray is that her gimmick is increasing her team's ultimate recharge rate. And Koga has a terrible ult. You don't play Koga for his ult, so the gimmick just doesn't really work there. And then also the bounce heals. Um, you can't really time it because it takes longer to bounce between your teammates if your teammates are spread farther apart. So it's just kind of harder to time. Um, her pocket is okay, but yeah, I just don't think she's really that good. Next, Genos. Main heal Genos is in C. But right now, I want to talk about Genos for a second. Genos meta right now is like a C or like a D or an F. I don't know why people are playing off healer Genos with binary start. It's like 900 DPS, less than Corvus. Like if you're gonna play an off healer, like play like Grok, who has more DPS and a better ult. Like I just don't get it at all. Um, how you should play Genos now is not with Luminary, is with his cripple. Genos has a card that reduces his cripple from a 12-second cooldown to a 6-second, cutting it in half, and the cripple lasts 2.5 seconds. So with Chronos 3, you could literally have cripple up 50% of the time. And then what you do is you put 5 cards into the cripple cooldown, 5 cards into heal duration, and then 3 cards into heal cooldown. Because of how Chronos interacts with the yeah, and Genos is not bad. He out as a main healer, he outputs like a lot of healing. I don't think he's like good anymore. I mean, cripple is annoying, but what made him good was Luminary. Um, and then even with Luminary, Koga isn't really that good. Koga needs burst healing, so that's why Genos really isn't that good. It just kind of yeah, like he can get back into combat a little bit quicker, but I don't think Genos is really that good. Um, this is where I kind of put Skye and Pip. Skye off healer, I don't think is really that good. I mean, you can use her like Koga needs a lot of healing, and I think going Skye isn't a bad idea because you can use her healing to kind of subsidize, and like getting more healing in a Koga comp is never a bad idea. And if you need like a Skye to kill a Rom or a Skye to kill Yaggroth or whatnot, she could be an okay pick. Like instead of like going like a damage or like an off tank, you could do like go off heal Skye Pip. Off heal Pip. I don't really think is that good. Main heal Pip, kind of difficult to hit his projectiles on a moving Koga and timing it with the dash, but you can hit his potions okay, and it's like burst healing. So I mean, I think this is where Pip goes. His ultimate's okay. Next, I'm gonna put Damba. Damba. A lot of people think Damba's pretty good. Um, for some reason, people think Spirit's Chosen is good. I think Ripen Gourd is so much better and outputs a lot more healing. The way that you play Ripen Gourd is you use the mini gourds card that reduces the gourd cooldown from a 10-second to 6 seconds, and then with Chronos 3, you'll you'll have a 100% uptime on the gourd. And what you kind of do is you kind of play kind of a rhythmic, every 4 seconds you're changing the position of your gourds and kind of moving your team, from position to position every kind of like 4 seconds. Um, and that's not really Koga's playstyle. Uh, Dama outputs a lot of healing, and he can hit Koga with his primary. But it's not really like burst healing. It's okay healing. So I mean that's where I think Dama goes is in B tier. I'm gonna put Grok here. I think off heal Grok is really good with Koga. Again, Koga needs a lot of healing, and Grok is really good at that. Grok also has a really good ultimate. Um, Koga with a Grok ultimate is really strong, pretty much invincible. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna put Ying here. Ying is pretty good. Her clone heals are really consistent. Like because they auto lock onto your dash. Um, so the heals are really consistent out of dash. Um, her ultimate is really good. Pretty much makes Koga invincible. The issue with Ying though is that she just doesn't output a lot of healing. Um, and I kind of feel like every time I'm like dashing to get the clone heals, I'm kind of taking those heals away from my tanks and stuff like that. So I think Ying is kind of here. Next, Saris. I mean, what can I say? What makes Saris and Koga so strong is the amount of healing Saris can do. Also, she doesn't need line of sight onto Koga really. She can heal her teammate, and then the heal can bounce from the teammate to Koga. Um, and what's like really strong with her is like let's say there's like 3 people on point, and she can heal all 3 people up very quickly. Once they're all healed up, because like she can heal them very quickly because it's a lot of healing, AoE healing. If they're all like 3 people clumped on point, then she doesn't have to heal all 3 of them on point for a while, and then she could just focus on pocketing Koga for a little bit until the 3 people start taking like a lot of damage. And then also her ultimate is incredibly good with Koga. She could even be S tier. I mean these last three, Corvus, Io, Saris, they're pretty much what you want to be picking. This is just my opinion. And Corvus, I think he's in A tier next patched. This patch, I think he's in B tier. Um, I think Corvus is really really strong, and a lot because he can heal Koga behind walls, burst heal Koga behind walls across the map. And Corvus has one of the highest DPS. He has the highest DPS out of all support, which is really good. Koga likes a lot of damage, a lot of healing. Corvus outputs a lot of healing. His ultimate's not great, but um, I mean that's not his selling point. And then something that I think is going to be underrated next patch is buying Wrecker on Corvus. Max Wrecker, Corvus can do 2,000 DPS to shields with a 50 round magazine. I think he can shoot for like 3 or 4 seconds. So, like doing like almost 8,000 damage in one magazine to a shield, which is ridiculous. Which allows you know, your team to not have to spend a lot of like points countering other things. Like Corvus Wrecker, I think is going to be really underrated. And last but not least, Io. The reason why Io is so good is she outputs a lot of healing. She has a lot of damage. Second highest support damage. Maybe Furia is a little bit higher. Um, but what makes her good is so high healing, but she can reactionary heal. You know, right as Koga dashes, she could just use the resources to get him to full. Um, and then once she's done healing him, she could just move to someone else, and she doesn't have to wait for cooldowns. You know, um, and she has really good survivability. She doesn't need to buy Chronos. So again, like with Corvus, Corvus allows like your team to um, have like good economy. Io doesn't need to buy Chronos, so she can do stuff like Nimble. She doesn't have to worry about like Terminus walking on her because she has like Terminus, like close to Terminus, like mobility or movement speed, right? She can buy like Haven early game and do quite a bit better against flanks, right? But yeah, I mean that's pretty much gonna be it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you want to, and if you did, hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Um, please stop picking Furia after I pick Koga. I don't know how people think. Uh, dude, if you just grab anything from this video, if you see a Koga, just give him and his team a ton of healing, right? Just like know, like learn about comps and like Koga needs a lot of healing. So just yeah, if you learn anything, Koga needs a lot of healing. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.